Ghost of Tsushima is an open-world action game developed by Sucker Punch. It is set in 1274 during the Mongolian invasion of Japan on the island of Tsushima. You play as Jin Sakai, a samurai lord residing on the island, and the game begins with Jin and his fellow samurai getting a thorough ass-kicking by the Mongolian invaders. You are rescued after this humiliating defeat, and then begins Jin's quest to save his friends and family and retake the island from the Mongol invaders. The storyline, in part, focuses on Jin's internal struggle with the samurai code of honor and the actions he must undertake in order to defeat the Mongols, namely the shinobi or thief ways of stealthily murdering people in secret. Though Jin seems to have no moral qualms with rampant looting of everything that isn't nailed down in every place that he visits. The main protagonist is a portly gentleman who comes across as a fierce and intelligent warlord who has learned the samurai ways and constantly goads Jin's uncle about his nephew's moral choices. I don't know about anyone else, but I'm kind of rooting for him. Throughout your journey across Tsushima, you meet a number of NPCs who can often provide aid against the Mongolian invasion. Despite this being a very pressing matter for the island, they have no interest in doing this unless you first help them with something that they need.
I need your help to repel the Mongolian invasion.
Sure, I'll help you, but first, go and rescue my brother.
Okay, he is rescued.
Now go and rescue my cousin.
Okay, he is rescued.
Now go and rescue my second cousin twice removed.
Okay, she is rescued.
Now go and rescue my second cousin's twice removed best friend. There is a grumpy old archer who appears to have a very sketchy past who likes to let you get ambushed as a test. Jin is not the smartest or most charismatic character and at one point addresses a crowd of starving ronin.
I have come to solve your food shortage problem. All we have to do is go and get more food.
He's right, we should just go and get more food. I then went on my merry way to the following quest and on my way emptied a town of Mongols and activated the lighthouse, only to be told at the quest that I had to empty the town of Mongols and activate the lighthouse. Many quests involve the use of your samurai sense in the form of Crime Scene Investigation, Samurai Edition.
I see. We have a bloodstain.
As shown in the previews, you at some point get a blacksmith to make you a hook for scaling high walls and the likes. Shortly after the hook is completed, you are presented with a quest that requires scaling high walls. That's lucky, isn't it? Then afterwards, it's barely used at all for the rest of the game. You also meet an old lady who seems to understand that you are not the sharpest tool in the box, and while gathering poisonous plants to make poison with, you are told, "Don't eat the seeds, dearie!"
What? You mean the seeds of these poisonous plants aren't delicious snacks? Oh, dang.
Overall, the story is engaging and well put together, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. The island of Tsushima is very large and has a lot of exploration options. As you travel around the island, you'll get little pop-ups that tell you there are things nearby that are interesting. There are shrines which provide quite interesting charm upgrades. The only way to get these major charms is through the shrine upgrade process. However, getting to each charm is quite a tedious platformer puzzle. It's not really a fluid movement game, so it's just kind of clunky and you're just pushing the stick in the right direction. Though the charms are good enough that you do find yourself wanting to do them, which is in a way quite annoying because I'd rather avoid them if I could. There are hot springs that allow you to ruminate on something in order to get a health boost. The first time I sat in one, I was thinking about my uncle quite a lot, and that made me stronger. There's a bamboo minigame, which is basically Dance Dance Revolution on your controller, and it allows you to get more resolve. There are these adorable little foxes that lead you to shrines that allow you to get more minor charm slots. Though, throughout the playthrough I found that the minor charms don't really do much. They have very minor upgrades compared to the major charms, and so having more slots doesn't really do anything. And there isn't a way to get more major charm slots. There are honor shrines scattered around the world, which give you vanity gear, but most of the time I just found myself using story upgrades as it looks a lot better, and the vanity gear that you find is mostly like headbands and sword sheaths, which you can't really see anyway, and I don't know why you'd want to be wearing a headband. There's resources all over the place and most of them are needed in quite large quantities. It can get annoying, though there's no pickup animation and you can pick up most things from the horse. You do find yourself scouring the area everywhere you go to get more resources so you can do the upgrades. In relation to this, there's a major charm which doubles the number of supplies you get, which once I got it felt like I could never really take it off. It allows enemies that don't normally drop supplies to drop them and stuff like that. Getting on your horse is quick and smooth. Getting off can take a bit longer, but you can jump off like a badass, and later on you can upgrade an ability which allows you to add an attack to this animation. First time I saw a big juicy pot, I spent a while trying to destroy it because I was hoping it would be full of stuff like in Zelda. However, it is not. That was quite disappointing. Overall, The exploration on the game is quite enjoyable. Aside from a few of the more tedious aspects of it, the island itself is so beautiful. I really did enjoy just riding around on my horse and exploring it and finding all of the different shrines. The combat in Ghost of Tsushima is only really challenging during boss fights. Normal enemies are dispatched very easily, even at the start of the game, even on the hardest difficulty. Duels, however, are very cool. They have cinematic openings to each one. The mini-bosses, war camp generals, traditional boss fights all have this animation. It sets the scene very well. There are two mechanics in the game which allow you to avoid combat, and I took most of the upgrades regarding these because they made me feel like a real badass. Ghost tools are very powerful, and the game gives you tons of refills so you can use them at will. Wolves are very annoying. I wish there were some more shortcuts for switching armor for different occasions. You find yourself wanting to do it quite a lot, and there's no key that allows you to choose between armors. You have to go into the menus to do it. Sometimes enemies just straight up start running away and I have to chase them down and unceremoniously hack at their back until they die. Jin starts off pretty bad at stealth and killing people stealthily. He sits there admiring his first kill for far too long, but he does get better at it over time, faster and quieter with the more upgrades that you apply, and much more comfortable with doing it. There's an option to have multi-stealth kills, and they feel very good, but aren't particularly useful for staying stealthed as you have to stay so long in the open killing all of the bad guys. The other avoiding combat option is the standoff ability, which allows you to wander up to a group of enemies and say, "Hey dickheads, I'm over here." This is the honourable way of dispatching your opponents. You can stand off in long grass and then immediately hide straight afterwards once you've dispatched your foes, allowing you to then stealthily kill the rest of them. As you progress through the game, standoffs actually get more difficult, unlike stealth, which gets easier, as the timing of when you need to hit the enemy gets a lot smaller, and they also try to fake you out. Overall though, chaining a bunch of standoffs together feels very good and makes you feel like a real samurai badass. Overall, I think the game is excellent. It's one of the best games I've played in a long time. I love the combat, the exploration, the graphics, the storyline. There are some minor things that can be improved, but they're very small, and I highly recommend buying this game at the full price, and I really hope they make a sequel. The music is epic. There's a scene at the start where you're riding through the fields and there's this beautiful piece of music playing which really sets the scene for the game. The storytelling itself is just excellent. Minor NPCs had really good flavour. There's an actual storyteller who recites these musical passages about legends with these hand-drawn animations which look great. The weather audio effects are amazing. Every time there was a lightning strike, it rumbled across my room through the surround sound system. Felt like it was all around me. You know, I was swimming out at sea and there's a storm up in the distance and it just sounded amazing. There was a graphical bug I had at the start where my arms got stuck to my sides. For a while I thought it was just something that had happened to me, like an injury. However, it turned out it was a graphical bug and a quick exit to the title fixed it. But like I said, overall, I would highly suggest buying and playing this game, no matter what price you pay for it. I really enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. You can catch me on weekday evenings on Twitch TV at Playing With Purpose. Don't forget to like and subscribe.